It's Rob, and we are back with the Plant Manifesto, baby. All right, so today I was thinking about if I had to just choose one plant, and maybe I was just now starting off and I wanted to get a plant and I'm wanting to get into the hobby of owning plants. What is the one plant that I would own over top of every other plant that I have currently? And this shirt is a little tip. It's a little hint. So if I was just starting out and I wanted to get one plant and one plant only, the one that I would get would be the Monstera deliciosa. So I've actually had this plant for around, I would say, 3 years now. So this one has grown very, very big. The leaves are huge. The live is outside. I originally got this plant for, I believe, $10 at one of my favorite nurseries. But the Monstera deliciosa is where it is at. This one is currently on a trellis, and that trellis is going to be used for support to be able to hold it up. But I have these guys in many forms, and this is my top plant. So the reasons why I am into the Monstera deliciosa, a lot of the times you can get them when they're very tiny. This is going to be another example of a Monstera deliciosa, but this is a white monster. So another reason why I really like this genus of plants is because they come in many different forms. You can get them with white leaves, you can get them with green leaves, and they start off very tiny like this, but can get huge like the one I have in front. So as I showed you before, the one out front is on a trellis. The Monstera is going to be a climbing plant. So my advice to you when it comes down to getting these guys is that even if you do have a little tiny one like this, you want to get this onto a moss pole or a trellis as soon as possible to have it reach its maximum growth. So here's going to be another form of the Monstera deliciosa, but this one is on a moss pole. So like the one in my front, that was on a trellis, this is on a moss pole. Benefits of a moss pole is that the roots can actually grow into the moss pole, allowing your leaves to get a lot bigger and allowing it to be a lot more stable. But this is the same plant up front, just a different species of it. But yeah, they come in many different forms and top of the line. Now, when I say form, the reason why I'm specifying the forms is because there are different forms or different types of Monstera. The one that's on my shirt is actually going to be a small form, a small leaf Monstera. I actually have a few of those to show you too. This is going to be my Monstera elbow cutting that I have right here. This guy is going to be a small form. So what is the difference between this one and the ones I've shown you so far? This guy has a lot more space in between the internodal spaces, and these leaves will not get as big and as giant as on those other Monsteras. So if you had less space or you needed something to fit into an apartment or just a smaller space and you still wanted a Monstera, you do have the small form as an option. Another cool part about Monsteras is that when you chop it, so when I chopped my mother plant, it'll actually branch off in many different areas, giving you different vines and making the plant, grow a lot bigger and a lot fuller in general. This is going to be my small form Monstera mother plant. Here's going to be another example of one of the large forms. How I showed you my other propagation, this is actually propagating in water. There is a little greenness and a little bit of algae, but that's fine. But if I had to start all over again and choose one plant, the Monstera is definitely where it's at. Whether you're getting large form, small form, I think that the Monstera is a great starter plant. And if you were looking into getting into plants, this is where to start.